The game is rigged. You're playing a match of chess against a grandmaster who knows your every thought, anticipates your every move, and has designed the board so that every path you take leads to your own defeat. This grandmaster is your own mind. This match is the overthinker's gambit. It's 3 a.m. The world is silent, but your mind is a war zone. You're replaying a conversation from Tuesday, dissecting every word, every pause, every subtle shift in tone. You're pre-litigating a meeting that hasn't happened yet, playing out a dozen catastrophic scenarios, each more vivid and humiliating than the last. You think you're strategizing. You think you're preparing, defending yourself from future pain by experiencing it in advance. This is the gambit. You sacrifice your peace, your energy, your present moment for the illusion of future control. But the cold, brutal truth is that you're not playing chess. You're in a prison cell of your own making, and the warden is you. The bars are forged from what-ifs and should-haves, and the only thing your frantic mental maneuvers accomplish is reinforcing the walls, making the prison smaller, darker, more suffocating. This is not a video about managing your overthinking. It's not about coping with it. This is a blueprint for a jailbreak. This is an escape plan. We are going to expose the overthinker's gambit for the con that it is, and then we are going to arm you with a set of master keys, forged in the fires of Stoic philosophy. Keys that don't just unlock the door, but dissolve the very walls of your mind prison. This is your chance to stop being a prisoner of your own thoughts and become the master of your mind. This is your Stoic escape. First, we must understand the architecture of your prison. You can't escape a place you don't understand. The prison isn't made of steel and concrete. It's made of illusions, and it's guarded by a warden who thrives on your fear. The warden has a name, the inner critic. It's that voice. The one that whispers you're not good enough, that you'll fail, that you said the wrong thing, that people are secretly judging you. It sounds like you. It uses your memories, your insecurities, your deepest fears as its weapons. But here is the first brutal truth. The warden is not you. It is a phantom. It is a recording, a ghost program installed in your psyche by past failures, by the careless words of others, by a society that profits from your self-doubt. It's a tyrant who has no actual power, only the authority you grant it. Every time you engage with its accusations, every time you argue with it, you are validating its existence. You are handing the warden the keys to your own cell and begging him to lock you in tighter. The spiritual warfare you are engaged in is not against a powerful entity. It's against a shadow. And the fastest way to defeat a shadow is to turn on the light of awareness and see it for the empty fraud it is. The walls of your prison are built from two materials, the rotten wood of the past and the vaporous fog of the future. The past is the realm of I should have. The future is the territory of what if. Overthinking is the act of trying to live in these two non-existent places at once, while completely abandoning the only place where life actually happens, the present moment. Think of a man who inherits a vast, beautiful estate. This estate is his life, right here, right now. But instead of exploring its forests, swimming in its lakes, and building his home on its solid ground, he spends all his time in two rooms. One is a dusty attic, filled with decaying photo albums of every mistake he's ever made. He sits there for hours, obsessing over blurry images, lamenting decisions that cannot be undone, feeling the sting of old wounds as if they were fresh. The other room is a basement filled with crystal balls, each one showing a possible, terrifying future. He stares into them, mesmerized by visions of ruin, poverty, and embarrassment. He is so consumed by the ghosts in the attic and the phantoms in the basement that he never realizes he owns the entire estate. He lives as a pauper, haunted and anxious in the middle of his own kingdom. That is the overthinker. That is the true cost of the gambit. You trade your kingdom for two haunted rooms. You trade the tangible reality of your power in this moment for the torment of wrestling with shadows. The sentence for this self-imposed crime is a life of mediocrity. It is a life of perpetual hesitation. The overthinker is the person who has a brilliant business idea, but analyzes it to death until someone else builds it. He is the man who wants to speak to the woman across the room, but plays out 100 rejection scenarios in his head until she leaves. He is the artist who craves to create, but is so terrified of criticism that the canvas remains forever blank. His energy, the vital force that should be used to build, to create, to connect, to live, is completely consumed by the pointless, draining civil war within his own skull. He is awake but not alive, present in body but absent in spirit, trapped in the labyrinth of his own mind. But today that ends, because every prison has a design flaw, every warden has a secret fear. The design flaw of your mind prison is that it's made of thought, and thought can be retrained. The warden's secret fear is your calm, detached observation. The escape plan is Stoicism, and it is a counter-gambit. It is a series of brutally effective, logical moves that dismantle the prison from the inside out. Let's forge the keys. Key number 1, the law of the battlefield. In Stoic terms, this is the dichotomy of control, but let's be clearer. This is the fundamental law of mental warfare. Before any battle, a competent commander must know, with absolute certainty, what is his territory and what is not. He must know what he can command and what he cannot. Your life is this battlefield. Most of it, nearly all of it, is foreign territory. The economy, the weather, what other people think of you, whether your flight gets delayed, whether someone likes your work. This is all outside of your control. It is not your land to defend. To waste a single drop of energy trying to command these things is not just foolish. It is strategic suicide. It's the definition of insanity. Your territory, the only ground you command, the only thing you have absolute dominion over, is infinitesimally small and yet infinitely powerful. It consists of three things: your conscious thoughts, your voluntary actions, and your considered will. That's it. That is your kingdom. Your judgments, your responses, your choices, your effort, your integrity. The overthinker lives his life as a trespasser. He is constantly launching futile invasions into foreign territory. He tries to control his boss's mood. He tries to command the affections of another. He tries to dictate the outcome of future events. He is always fighting on ground he doesn't own, and so he is always losing, always exhausted, always anxious. He is fighting 1,000 fronts and has no command post. The Stoic warrior makes a radical, life-altering decision. He decides to wage war only on the ground he owns. He withdraws his forces from the uncontrollable world and concentrates them with ferocious intensity on his inner kingdom. Imagine two CEOs facing a sudden, brutal market crash. The first CEO, the overthinker, is a prisoner. He's glued to the news, his mind racing, trying to predict the market's every move. He's agonizing over what his competitors are doing, what the media is saying, what his shareholders are thinking. He is trying to control the hurricane. His thoughts are panicked, his actions are erratic, and his will is paralyzed. He is fighting on foreign soil, and he is losing badly. The second CEO is a Stoic. He looks at the storm and makes a clear distinction. The market, my competitors, the news, these are not mine to command, they are the weather. He turns his attention inward to his own territory. He asks, "What are my considered judgments?" My judgment is that panic is poison. My judgment is that opportunity is hidden in crisis. What are my voluntary actions? I will communicate with my team with clarity and calm. I will analyze our core strengths and double down on them. I will look for strategic openings created by the chaos. What is my will? My will is to lead with virtue, with courage, and with resilience, regardless of the outcome. He is not passive. He is powerfully, intensely active, but only where his actions can have a real effect. He has abandoned the unwinnable war and is now the absolute king of his own domain. He experiences the same storm as the first CEO, but one is a victim and the other is a commander. Your actionable step for this key is to perform the circle of command audit. Take a piece of paper, draw a large circle. Inside that circle, write down what you are worried about right now that is 100% within your control. Your attitude, your effort on this next task, the choice to go to the gym, the decision to speak with honesty, the words you choose to use. Outside the circle, write down everything else that's on your mind, what she will think, whether you will get the promotion, the traffic on the way home, the past mistake. Now look at the paper. Make a solemn vow to yourself, the vow of a warrior. You will dedicate your life force, your focus, and your energy exclusively to the things inside that circle. You will treat everything outside the circle with detached observation, as if watching a movie. It may be interesting, it may be dramatic, but it is not your battle to fight. This single act is the beginning of the end for your mind prison. You've just defined the boundaries of your power. Key number 2, the alchemist's fire. The Stoics called this amor fati, the love of fate. This sounds passive, but it is the most aggressive, powerful mindset you can possibly cultivate. It is not just accepting what happens. It is loving what happens. It is developing the dangerous power to look at any event, especially the ones you would have called bad, and say with genuine conviction, good. The overthinker is a victim of circumstance. When he gets fired, he obsesses. Why me? This is a disaster. What if I can't find another job? His mind spins a narrative of victimhood and ruin. When a relationship ends, he is lost in a loop of I should have done this, I shouldn't have said that. He sees the event as a final, negative verdict on his worth. The Stoic is an alchemist. He understands that events in themselves have no inherent meaning. They are neutral. They are just raw material. His job is to take the lead of circumstance and transmute it into the gold of opportunity, wisdom, and strength. A young entrepreneur pours 2 years of his life and all his savings into a tech startup. On launch day, it fails, spectacularly. The market is indifferent, the technology is buggy, it's a total loss. The overthinker inside him screams, "You are a failure, you wasted everything, you should have known." This is the path to depression and inaction. But the Stoic alchemist looks at the smoldering wreckage and says, "Good." Not with fake positivity, but with a fierce, strategic opportunism. "Good. I just paid for a master's degree in what the market does not want. This pain is tuition. Good. I just discovered the flaws in my own process and my own character under pressure. Now I can rebuild them stronger. Good. This strips away my ego and arrogance, forcing me to be humble and smarter next time. This failure is not a verdict. It is fuel." He understands a profound truth. The obstacle is the way. The impediment to action advances action. The thing that seems to be in your way is actually a guide pointing you toward a new, better path. That rejection, good. It frees you up for a better fit and teaches you resilience. That injury, good. It forces you to learn about your body, to respect its limits, and to develop other aspects of your being. That unfair criticism, good. It's a chance to practice emotional fortitude, and to either find a kernel of truth in it, or to practice dismissing the opinions of those who don't matter. Your actionable step is to start practicing the good reframe. The next time something happens that triggers your overthinking, something that feels like a setback, immediately, out loud if you can, say the word good. Then your mind, which is a problem-solving machine, will be forced to find the reason why it's good. Don't let it off the hook. Find the opportunity. Find the lesson. Find the way this bad thing can be used as a stepping stone. At first, it will feel forced. But with practice, it will become an automatic reflex. You will be rewiring your brain to see opportunity where it once saw only disaster. You are turning the poison of life into your own personal medicine. This is the fire of the alchemist, and it will burn your mind prison to the ground. Key number 3, the war game of the mind. The Stoics called this premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. This is perhaps the most misunderstood Stoic practice. The modern world, with its obsession with positive thinking, sees this as negative, as a recipe for anxiety. They are dead wrong. This is the ultimate antidote to anxiety. Anxiety is born of the unknown. It's the fear of being ambushed by fate, of being caught unprepared. The overthinker engages in a distorted version of this. He worries. Worrying is picturing a negative outcome and emotionally living in it as if it's real, over and over with no plan. It's self-torture. Premeditatio malorum is the exact opposite. It is not worrying, it is strategic planning. It is the practice of a warrior, not a worrier. A general does not sit in his tent and worry about the enemy attacking his flank. He calmly says, "The enemy might attack my flank. Let's assume they will. What is our response? We will place our elite troops there. We will pre-sight our artillery. We will have a mobile reserve ready to counterattack." By planning for the worst-case scenario, he strips it of its power to cause panic. He has a plan. He is prepared. The overthinker who has a big presentation coming up worries. He imagines his mind going blank, the audience laughing, his boss firing him. He feels the shame, the humiliation, the panic right now. He is being terrorized by a phantom. The Stoic who has the same presentation practices premeditatio malorum. He sits down for 5 minutes in the morning and says, "Okay, let's war game this. What is the worst that could happen? I could completely forget my words. Okay, what is my response? I will have note cards. And if I drop the note cards, I will pause, take a sip of water, smile at the audience and say, 'Forgive me, It seems my hands are as excited as I am to share this with you. I will have a core point I can return to no matter what. What if the projector fails? My response will be to continue without it, proving I know my material so well I don't need the slides. What if someone asks a hostile question? My response will be to remain calm, thank them for their perspective, and answer the question with logic, not emotion. Do you see the difference? The worrier is a victim of his imagination. The Stoic is a commander using his imagination as a training ground. By calmly rehearsing his response to potential setbacks, he inoculates himself against fear and surprise. When the feared event actually happens, if it ever does, his mind doesn't panic. It says, "Ah, this scenario. We've trained for this. Execute the plan." He has transformed potential terror into a simple tactical problem. Your actionable step is to conduct a 5-minute threat assessment each morning. As you drink your coffee, ask yourself, what is one thing today that could go wrong or cause me stress? A difficult conversation, a challenging task, a potential conflict. Don't dwell on it, just identify it. Then spend 2 minutes mentally rehearsing a calm, virtuous, and rational response. See yourself handling it with poise and strength. Then, and this is the most important part, let it go. You've done your war game. You've prepared your mind. Now go about your day. You are no longer dreading the future. You are prepared for it. This practice systematically starves anxiety of its favorite food, the element of surprise. Key number 4, fortifying the inner citadel. This is the final and most crucial key. It is the understanding that the ultimate escape from the mind prison is the realization that your true self was never imprisoned in the first place. External events, other people's opinions, your own spiraling thoughts, these are the storm raging outside. But within you, there is a fortress, an inner citadel that is untouchable, inviolable, and completely under your command. This citadel is your reasoned mind, your character, your core principles. The overthinker believes he is the storm. He identifies with his anxious thoughts, his fearful emotions. When a wave of anxiety hits, he says, "I am anxious." When a thought of failure appears, he says, "I am a failure." He has no fortress, so he is perpetually at the mercy of the weather of his own mind. The Stoic knows he is not the storm. He is the lighthouse keeper in the citadel. He can observe the storm, watch the waves crash against the walls, see the lightning flash, but he is safe, dry, and in command inside. From this secure command post, he can make rational decisions about how to navigate the world. This citadel isn't something you're born with. It is built. It is fortified brick by brick, every single day through conscious practice and discipline. How do you build it? You build it with the other keys. Every time you practice the dichotomy of control, you lay a foundation stone of clarity. Every time you use the alchemist's fire to transmute a setback, you add a layer of resilient mortar. Every time you conduct a mental war game, you reinforce the battlements. The primary act of construction, however, is the daily practice of self-reflection. The Stoics were pioneers of journaling, not as a diary of feelings, but as an engineering log for the soul. It's the end-of-day review. Your actionable step is to create a Stoic's end-of-day review. Before you sleep, spend 5 minutes with a notebook and answer 3 simple questions. What did I do well today in accordance with my principles? This acknowledges your strength and reinforces good habits. Where did I fall short? Where did I let my impressions, my anger, my fear, my overthinking get the better of me? This is not self-flagellation. It is a calm, objective performance review. You are the coach, not the critic. What will I do better or differently tomorrow? What specific strategy will I employ? This creates a concrete plan for improvement, turning failure into a lesson. This simple, 5-minute ritual is the act of a master builder. You are consciously, deliberately examining the structure of your character and fortifying its walls. Day by day, your inner citadel becomes stronger. The noise of the world and the chatter of your own mind begins to fade in intensity. You realize that you can feel anxiety without becoming anxiety. You can have a negative thought without believing that thought. You are building a core of inner peace and strength that no external event and no internal storm can ever breach. This is the ultimate escape. It's not that the prison disappears. It's that you realize you were never inside it. You were the warden, the prisoner, and the architect all along. And with that realization, you are free to simply walk out. What does life look like outside the walls? This is where the talk of dangerous power and becoming unrecognizable becomes reality. It's not about becoming an aggressive, loud person. It's the opposite. It's the power of profound calm. It's the quiet confidence of the person who is no longer at war with themselves. The energy you once wasted on anxious loops and pointless worry is now freed up. It becomes a laser beam of focus that you can direct at your goals, your work, your relationships. Indecision is replaced by deliberate action. You know what you control and you act on it with full commitment, letting the results be what they may. Social anxiety diminishes because you're no longer trying to manage other people's perceptions, an impossible task. You are focused only on acting with integrity and kindness, which is all you control. You become a stable, centered presence in a world of chaos. People are drawn to that, not because you're trying to attract them, but because your inner peace is a rare and powerful force. You stop sabotaging yourself. You stop procrastinating out of fear of failure because you now see failure as valuable data. You stop living a small life to avoid criticism because you have built an inner citadel that is immune to it. You are no longer playing the overthinker's gambit, a game rigged for you to lose. You are now playing the Stoic's game, where the only metric of success is your own virtuous action and inner tranquility. A game you can win every single moment of every single day. The escape from the mind prison is not a single dramatic event. It's a choice made over and over again. It's the choice to focus on your circle of command, the choice to find the good in every obstacle, the choice to prepare for challenges instead of worrying about them, the choice to build your inner citadel brick by brick every night. The door to your cell is not locked from the outside. It has never been. The warden is a phantom, the walls are an illusion, and the key has been in your hand this entire time. It is the power of your own reasoned choice. Today is the day you stop staring at the lock, analyzing its mechanisms, and worrying about who put it there. Today is the day you turn the key. Start the jailbreak. Your real life, a life of action, purpose, and profound inner peace, is waiting for you on the other side. Begin.